I therefore second, sorry.
Honorable members, I propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order 97, debate on this motion be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes for each member speaking. Can I put the question? Honorable members, I now put the question that pursuant to Standing Order 97, debate on this motion be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes for each member speaking. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. What's your, okay, Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me begin by thanking the Deputy Leader of Minority and the Deputy Leader of Majority and Deputy Leader of Minority for moving and seconding this bill on my behalf and on behalf of the Leader of Minority. And as was stated, Honorable Speaker, this is a co-sponsored bill between myself and the Leader of Minority, and the consequence of work that was done by a committee of this House, an ad hoc committee that was formed, to first look into the issues that had been raised by the court and which the Deputy Leader of Minority, the Honorable Bayer, has clearly articulated in terms of what the Supreme Court found to be inconsistent with the Constitution in terms of the NGCDF 2015 Act, especially on the question of the principles of separation of powers and the division of functions between the national and county governments. And Honorable Speaker, there are also new and emerging issues like climate change that under the old Act of 2015, the Act as it were then would not be able to address. And of course, as was mentioned, also issues to do with the ICT digital hubs and the issue of allowing the fund, the NGCDF fund, to cater for a certain amount of recurrent expenditure in the running of ICT digital hubs. And of course, Honorable Speaker, I was about to say Your Excellency, Honorable Speaker, but maybe I am dreaming of good things for you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the ICT hubs that His Excellency the President has purpose to be established in every ward, every of our 1,450 electoral wards, are ICT hubs that will revolutionize how we perceive the creation of jobs, that you do not necessarily need foreign investors to come and invest in your own localities for you to be able to create jobs. You do not need industries, very huge industries, that even with building, holding, or facilitating an ICT innovation hub, you can create jobs to hundreds of people within that ward by enabling them to be able to access the digital world and be able to work online and digitally, working for companies that are outside this country or even outside their areas of settlement. It will be possible, Honorable Speaker, and tomorrow, by sheer coincidence, I will be launching the ICT hub in Kikuyu constituency at the Nachu TVET. Honorable Speaker, it will be possible now for a young man or a young lady in Nachu ward, which in my constituency is among the most marginalized places in Kiambu County and indeed part of the semi-arid and arid areas of our country, that young men and women in that arid and semi-arid part of Kikuyu constituency in Kiambu will be able to work for corporations like Google, like Facebook, like Amazon, and many others anywhere in the world, just from the comfort of a TVET center in Kikuyu. And that will be the case, Honorable Speaker, for a young man or a young lady in Mandera County, where within a TVET institution or within an ICT hub anywhere within the county of Mandera, young men and women who would have looked up to other job opportunities where industries are being established in their localities will now be able to work from the comfort of their own counties, work for international companies, work for local companies. Honorable Speaker, and you remember with the coming of COVID in 2020, a lot of things changed in the labor market. Before the 2020 COVID, Honorable Speaker, you remember, everybody believed that for you to work, you have to be working from some office space somewhere. And indeed, COVID did teach the world a very good lesson that you do not need office space, you do not need to be working from the comfort of an office, that you can comfortably work from the precincts of your house and be able to work either for your companies locally or those outside. Honorable Speaker, with that in mind, and bearing in mind that we are now establishing these ICT hubs across the country, it was important that we enable NGCDF to be able to cater for certain levels of recurrent expenditure, be it water bills, be it electricity bills, be it the internet services that the youth will be using at those centers, or even simple repairs and maintenance of the gadgets and equipment that will be in those ICT hubs. Honorable Speaker, matters to do with climate change, matters that are alive to us. NGCDF has also to be responsive to issues to do with climate change and how we mitigate matters that touch on climate change. And therefore, we'll be able again to incur a little bit of these expense monies that are allocated to NGCDF to deal with issues touching on climate change. Honorable Speaker, in dealing with the challenges that have confronted NGCDF over the years, on the question of separation of powers, on issues on how we align the revenue, vertical division of revenue between the national and county governments, we are now making it very clear, Honorable Speaker, that NGCDF will in no way interfere with the level of financing or revenue that is being divided vertically to our county governments. That NGCDF will get from the national government share of revenue. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, those who have perceived that NGCDF is in a way clawing back on devolution can now have the comfort that the money is going to NGCDF will not in any way affect the money is going to our county governments. And therefore, especially our good governors, Honorable Speaker, and the Council of Governors can rest easy that NGCDF is money that will come from the national government's share of revenue. And this money, Honorable Speaker, will also go strictly to functions under Schedule 4 of our Constitution that are designated to be carried out by the national government. We shall not be involved